I'm in San Francisco. That's Alcatraz. And since I'm here in startup land, I'll give you a free startup idea. An app where you can find all films, TV shows, and books that relate to certain geographical areas. Huh? Ta-da! All you have to do is code it and include all the books in the universe. And then I bet you Amazon will buy it. And I promise I will pay $2.99 for your app. But since nobody has been nifty enough to code that shit yet, here's me, helping out again. It's like you always have to do everything yourself. This is a brand new travel blog vlog segment I call Stuff to Read Before You Go to Such and Such. In this case, San Francisco. So, stuff to read before you go to San Francisco. Or after it, then you'll know all the places. That's catchy, I know. Your first must-read is obviously the Tales of the City series by ARMISTEAD MAUPIN. Tales of the City originally started out as a set of newspaper columns in the San Francisco Chronicle. It begins with Marion Singleton, a young woman from Cleveland who moves to San Francisco. She finds refuge at 28 Barbary Lane, a mesmerizing building landladied by the eccentric pot-growing Anna Madrigal. She gets a new best friend in Michael Tolliver, and later in the series even marries. There are 9 books in the series, and they span decades. The building where all the delightful characters live, Barbary Lane 28, is modeled around this place, McIndray Lane. This is where the legendary tree stairs are. Well, used to be. McIndray Lane is situated between Union Street and Green Street, but it's pretty well hidden. Blink and you'll miss it. In the words of ARMISTEAD MAUPIN and Tales of the City, the worst of times in San Francisco was still better than the best of times anywhere. Marion Singleton was 25 years old when she saw San Francisco for the first time. She came to the city alone for an 8-day vacation. On the 5th night, she drank 3 Irish coffees at the Buena Vista, realized that her mood ring was blue, and decided to phone her mother in Cleveland. The Chinatown of San Francisco is the oldest one in North America. San Francisco boasts the largest Chinese community outside China. It makes sense that San Francisco then provides the readers with the best Asian American literature. I'm talking, of course, about Amy Tan. Now, you should read anything by her, but if you only read one thing, make sure it's the Joy Luck Club. And then it occurs to me, they are frightened. In me, they see their own daughters, just as ignorant, just as unmindful of all the truths and hopes that they have brought to America. They see daughters who grow impatient when their mothers talk in Chinese, who think they are stupid when they explain things in fractured English. They see that joy and luck do not mean the same to their daughters, that to these closed American-born minds, joy luck is not a word. It does not exist. They see daughters who will bear grandchildren born without any connecting hope, passed from generation to generation. Robin Sloan's novel, Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore, is the most modern depiction of San Francisco on this list. It's a story about books, but also about technology, which makes it very San Francisco-y. It begins in a mysterious San Francisco bookstore and sets the protagonist and the reader out on an adventure unlike anything you would have thought it was gonna be. One review called it Dan Brown in Silicon Valley, and that might not be entirely inaccurate. It's all very hipstery, but just the right amount. I did not know people your age still read books, Penumbra says. He raises an eyebrow. I was under the impression they read everything on their mobile phones. Not everyone. There are plenty of people who, people who still like the smell of books. The smell, Penumbra repeats. You know you're finished when people start talking about the smell. He smiles at that. Then something occurs to him, and he narrows his eyes. I do not suppose you have a Kindle. Uh-oh. It feels like it's the principal asking me if I have weed in my backpack. But in a friendly way, like maybe he wants to share it. Mr. Monk is a fictional, neurotic San Francisco detective, and you may have read books starring him. These books were actually written after the TV show, and the show isn't based on them, but the other way around. So when you read these books and picture Tony Shalhoub in your head, You're totally right in doing so. The show itself sometimes has some nice San Francisco visuals, but has for most parts actually been shot in Toronto and Los Angeles. TV is fake. Who'd have thought? Read the books. The Women's Murder Club is a book series of crime novels by James Patterson. The premise of the books were later made into a TV show, which is really good. The books, however, pretty shit. I mean, the plots are exciting and totally work as crime novels, but the writing's pretty bad. You won't find depth, but you will find really short chapters. That said, I've read 3 of these books, and to be honest, I'll probably read another one someday. I'm like a goldfish. The books in the show follow a group of women, a cop, a medical examiner, a lawyer, and a journalist who investigate crimes and work together to solve murders. Check them out for some terrific San Francisco moments. You know Isabel Allende for her super bestsellers like The House of the Spirits, but one of her latest books is actually a teen crime novel. That sounds admittedly like the stupidest genre there is. Do give this book a chance. I mean, the genre is stupid, but this book is okay. A mysterious serial killer is on the loose in San Francisco, and in a very Nancy Drew-like fashion, a couple of kids might hold the keys to the solution. It's not The House of the Spirits. If you do like that book and you love her, this is totally different, and that is a very important disclaimer for you. Another book I wanted to mention was Seras-tu by MUSSO. I have actually no idea what the English translation is called, so you're gonna have to Google that. It was originally written in French. The book's weird, very weird, and it involves time travel, which is usually a pretty off-putting theme to me. But because the setting is San Francisco, I decided to endure it. The main character lives on the beautiful and scenic Marina Drive. He is given a possibility to communicate with his future self, and obviously things go to hell sooner or later. Anyway, time travel. Time travel. Yeah, it's weird. The final book on the list is The Maltese Falcon. It's a classic about the hard-boiled private investigator Sam Spade. It's very noir-y, although that's probably not the term they used in 1930 when the book first was published. The book contains a lot of landmarks which still stand in San Francisco today. I found a page on Google that said 50 SF books you must read. I was about halfway through when I realized SF stands for science fiction, not San Francisco. Yeah, I'm dumb. I know there's a bunch of stuff I forgot or just excluded, and that may include some of your favorites. Let me and everybody else know in the comments below what's missing from the list. If you enjoyed this list that I realize feels a lot like homework, please click the like button, and for more super serious and highly unprofessional travel videos, please subscribe and force your family to too.